Hello, I'm Chris Amundsen, Communications Manager for Education Sector. And I'm here with Rob Manwaring, a Senior Policy Analyst at Ed Sector. Rob has recently released a new research report called Restructuring Restructuring. And we're here to talk about some of the key points in that report. Rob, as we know, restructuring a school is the most serious consequence that was anticipated under the No Child Left Behind Act. And in your report, I know you tell both the story of how well that worked and also make some recommendations for future policy implications. Perhaps you could summarize some of what you learned about how well restructuring has worked under the current law.
Well, Chris, restructuring is what happens to a school that has not reached expectations under NCLB for at least 5 consecutive years. So some schools have been in restructuring for almost 5 years now. So, and in fact, one of the schools that we highlight first gets identified for the earlier stages of not meeting expectations, which is called school improvement, all the way back in 1997, and has been in school improvement and all the way to restructuring since that time. So not a single time in the last 13 years has this school that we highlight in the report actually met the expectations that NCLB sets out. Now, as we know, many states set the bar very low to try and avoid identifying schools as low performing. And what we find out in this report is that even after being identified, many states and districts went to huge efforts to not make changes or serious changes in the schools that were identified. And then, even if they do finally get serious about it, sometimes the lack of planning and consideration of the context of that school has led to even more detrimental impacts than doing nothing at all. So we highlight a particular school that has been identified for over 13 years, has continued to be low performing, has continued to struggle, and we sort of document how it moves through these different support systems and interventions, finally coming down to deciding ultimately to restructure the school, let the principal and all the teachers go and rehire them, but unfortunately did it in such a way and in such a budget context that the year following that, virtually over half of the teachers get let go and the whole thing implodes upon itself. So it has both warning signs for the current implementation of the school improvement grants, where the administration is putting $3.5 billion, as well as setting the context for how difficult these school reforms are to implement. And then it sets up a set of recommendations at both the federal, the state, and the district level for changes that should be made at each of those levels to really improve the possibility of success in this difficult work of turning around our lowest performing schools.
Thanks, Rob. To read Rob's full report, Restructuring Restructuring, visit Education Sector's website at www.educationsector.org. Thanks for watching.